U.S. President Barack Obama gives his farewell speech to the nation and talks about his 8 years in office and work for the country left to be done.
Cybercrime. It costs Nigeria billions of naira every year. What can be done to stem the tide?
And visitors flock to a new museum in Washington that showcases the rich history and culture of African Americans. Africa 54 starts right now.
Hello, I'm Joke Rogers at Channels Television here in Lagos. Welcome to our show as we go around the continent to bring you a variety of stories from across Africa.
And I'm Vincent McCory of Voice of America, coming to you from Studio 51 at our global headquarters here in Washington. Thanks for joining us. Now, it's that time of the year when Nigeria remembers its fallen heroes, men of the armed forces who paid the ultimate price for their motherland, laying wreaths in Abuja in honor of the dead soldiers. President Muhammadu Buhari also commended the Nigerian troops for their sacrifice. Channels Television correspondent Amaka Okafor reports.
A group of pipers from the military heralding the arrival of President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to the 2017 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. He first takes the salute and then proceeds to inspect the Guard of Honor. That done, the President and other dignitaries, including the service chiefs, made their way to the tomb of the unknown soldier, where they waited for the bugle. A minute's silence is observed in honor of the fallen soldiers. And then, one after the other, the President leads other dignitaries to lay wreaths in honor of the fallen heroes. The Vice President took his turn after the President, then the Senate President. Next was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Minister of Defense, and Chief of Defense Staff, amongst others. This was followed by the firing of Voli and release of doves to signify peace. President Buhari then speaks to troops in the Sambisa forest, peacekeepers in Liberia, and the Air Force team in Yola, Adamawa State, through a makeshift command center. He thanked them for the many sacrifices they have made for the unity of Nigeria and the continent at large.
GOC, 7th Division. Okay, Mr. President is here to have a word with our gallant troops. Just be on standby and listen to Mr. President, please.
Your success was received spontaneously by all Nigerians. I congratulate you and I thank you very much for the honor you have done to the country and to us. Well done. I wish your family are all well and are getting in touch with you. I wish you more success.
The signing of the Remembrance Day Register by the President drew the curtain on activities to mark the Armed Forces Remembrance Day for 2017. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
You're watching Africa 54. Statistics show that Nigeria loses over 100 billion naira annually to cybercrime. It's a huge problem, but one that can be overcome. But let's discuss this issue. Joining us via Skype is the president of the Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria, Mr. Remiafo. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Cybercrime is a serious problem all over the world. How strong is Nigeria's cybersecurity policy?
Let me just start by saying that we've got a policy that was put together about 2 years ago, but it needs to be reviewed. We've got a good policy when it was put together, but now it needs to be reviewed. So that's the problem. So we can safely say that the policy is not strong enough.
How can institutions and individuals in Nigeria protect themselves from cybercrime, considering that most times the perpetrators operate from outside the country?
The most important thing is for people to be aware, cybersecurity awareness. That's the key. There are 5 cybersecurity issues that we have identified that is going to affect Nigeria in 2017. And that is what we call ransomware, cyberbullying, online assistant kidnapping, and online impersonation. So it is very important that Nigerians and organizations are aware of all these threats and be able to put necessary control in place to protect themselves against cyber attack.
The economic impact of cybercrime is one that cannot be overlooked. Now, can the government guard against further losses? Absolutely.
Government need to be serious about the danger of cybercrime and the economic impact of cybercrime. We've been saying this for a very long time. There's a need for government to have a cybersecurity unit that will be dealing with this. In other countries, in advanced countries, they do have a cybersecurity unit that is dealing with that. Apart from that, the president needs to have what we call a cybersecurity advisor. In some places, they call it cyber chief. This person is going to be in charge of cybersecurity in the country. At the moment, we have the National Security Advisor working on it, but we need someone that is a professional that will be advising the president and that will be driving these policies.
What sectors should we be most worried about?
We should be worried about espionage, which is very common now with what's happening in America, accusing Russia. And just recently, there was about 24,000 attempted cyber attack against France that was allegedly, claimed to be from Russia. So if this kind of thing is happening, we should be worried about that. And we should be worried about even our intellectual properties as well. We should be worried about financial losses and so on and so forth. So these are the areas that we need to be worried about.
Mr. Aremi Afon, President of the Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria, thank you so much for joining us today on Africa 54.
Thank you.
Well, we want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we covered. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54. And check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Coming up, can drone technology help Africa overcome some of its biggest infrastructure and development problems? Well, they're beginning to show promise. That story and more coming up after the break.